afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. Woo! I am your grateful host, and in studio with him, my main man, Jamie Angel.
What is happening? Happy Tuesday out there, everybody. I hope y'all all didn't miss me too much.
Oh, we missed you a lot. I'm glad you're feeling better. I know you're still recovering.
Man,
Woo!
there is some funk going around this Acadiana area, and let me tell you, had me down, and my whole family was out.
Come on.
It was terrible.
And I've been all about us talking with you.
All around town, folks been not feeling so hot, been feeling sick.
That ain't right.
Craziness.
I got to go see Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. All right, man. Also, we are broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. Rumble in the jungle. Go give us a follow over there. Go view us online, rumble.com. All right, let's see here. Let's go straight into it. Man, so many things to talk about today. Let's go right in. We'll spend a lot of the first hour on the National Guard and policing and law enforcement and all these things and how it ties in with President Trump and getting some pushback, of course, by the usuals.
Well, of course.
It changed the parties, and the other ones would be arguing, and this one would be, they can't get along on anything. But let's talk about it. So this one's coming from Devin Cole at CNN. A federal judge in California, Charles Breyer is his name, a Clinton appointee. He ruled that President Trump and Defense Secretary of War. I was supposed to laugh on that one. Remember? No. Still Secretary of Defense, but maybe
I thought that's what his big announcement is going to be today. They're like, he's going to make an announcement at 2:00 about the DOD or something. I'm like, Department of War.
The Secretary of War is coming out.
But no, it was just to announce Space Command moving.
Yeah, that was maybe we'll talk about that later on too. But yeah, that's big news. Getting out of the Air Force Command in Colorado, making it in Huntsville, Alabama. All right, so yes, back to Judge Breyer, Judge Charles Breyer, a Clinton appointee. He ruled that President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth violated federal law when they used the military in Los Angeles to support immigration enforcement operations. Okay. So the ruling says that they ran afoul of the Pars Comitatus Act, a 19th century law that restricts the United States military for domestic law enforcement. The judge blocked Trump from using troops in California for things like traditional law enforcement efforts, arrests, crowd control, some traffic stops, searches. But he ruled against them, at least until the appeals courts weighed in, and I do appreciate that. So here's a few little facts. So recall, back in the L.A. riots, back when all heck was breaking loose in Los Angeles. But peaceful protest. It's only peaceful. Can't be peaceful unless we're burning things, stopping traffic. We're cool. It's a movement. It's a movement.
Not a moment, it's a movement. Not a movement, it's a moment. I got it right.
Make a T-shirt. So here's some facts. Trump federalized California National Guard, the California National Guard, dealing with L.A., along with U.S. Marines, and that was to back up all those federal agents during immigration crackdowns in the area, in L.A. and the surrounding areas. They set up perimeters. They ran traffic blockades. They provided armed support on the ground. Gavin Newsom, our buddy over there, Democrat governor of California, he sued Trump. He said that he had no authority. Well, Judge Breyer ruled that those military activities crossed the line and violated the Post Comitatus rule, or law, should I say. He paused enforcement of his order. This I do appreciate from Judge Breyer. I really do. He paused enforcement of his order, so he disagreed with him, but he paused it until next Friday to allow the administration time to appeal. And look, when a district court judge or even the appellate court is stopping policy, and because it sounds like it's just policy you disagreed with, I like defer always to the Supreme Court. You're one district judge in one district. You're not even a regional judge. You don't even control the whole state, much less the whole country. So the only court that exists that directly has jurisdiction over the nation is the Supreme Court. So these matters should be paused all the way until they get to the Supreme Court.
He's not his brother. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, yes.
His brother was Justice Stephen Breyer.
Yeah, different judge and justice. That's a good note, by the way. Retired Supreme Court justice. Now, break this down a little bit. The Post Comitatus Act. What does that do? What is that? That dates back to 1878. Now, let's remember why and what the heck was going on in 1878. Reconstruction in the South. So this law, Post Comitatus Law or Act, it was designed after Reconstruction to make sure federal troops weren't patrolling American streets like an occupying army. Remember when we were at Civil War, Union comes in, or the United States government, the military, after the fact, has Reconstruction. They're patrolling the streets. They are acting as law enforcement. And a lot of rights were suspended and then reinstated, of course, over time. But here's the key. Post Comitatus, it has exceptions. The president can federalize the National Guard. Who thinks they can't? Who thinks that the president of the United States cannot, under Title 10, mobilize the National Guard? Anybody? And presidents of both parties have done so for domestic support. Not uncommon. So the idea that Trump somehow did something outrageous and unprecedented, that's politics. That has nothing to do with the law. Let's just be clear on that. Now, what really happened here, quite frankly, is pretty simple if you think about it. LA was overwhelmed with illegal immigration protests and clashes. You saw it on TV. Couldn't get away from it. Boy, the news agencies, they loved it. Selling them ads, getting all, it's a business. It's a business. To each their own. But federal agents were targeted. Very specific fact there. Something that might change a few things. Trump gave them backup. Good. I mean, he didn't send tanks to run over civilians. He put boots on the ground to protect federal missions when California refused to cooperate. To me, that is leadership. That is something that we need. That is something that, hey, how often can you say that the federal government actually cares about me, the citizen, me, the individual? And those folks in California, man, and we have a few on the podcast that looks in at rumble.com. Appreciate that. I just ask you, man, you got to feel that's got to be a foreign concept, because the folks in California, the leadership in California, could care less about your safety. I'm just judging them on their actions, not their words. Their words sound great. That's kind of like those campaign conservatives. Love me a campaign conservative. Boy, I really, really love consistent conservatives. We might talk about that too in the next hour. We will when we talk about redistricting. But let's stay on this topic first. The idea that someone in government actually cares about your safety in California might seem like a foreign concept. I get it. But at least this president doesn't ignore that. And while the governor of California and the mayor of Los Angeles wanted to check off the box of identity politics and do everything but work with the president, it reminds me a lot of Katrina. It reminds me of a lot of Governor Blanco at the time and President George W. Bush. A lot of similarities. You want to hold on to everything, but you want to blame everybody else when it's all your fault. Anyway, let's talk about that and so much more when we get back. Stick around. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Woo, we're broadcasting live on rumble.com. Go check us out over there at Rumble, man. Rumble.com. You can see us. You can look at all old archive videos and podcasts and episodes and all the things. Give us a little follow. It's for free. Free 99 all day, minus the 99. So we're talking about President Trump's mobilization of the National Guard, California National Guard. He federalized them back a few months ago in regards to the the updated Los Angeles riots, this time based on, or protests, should I say, this time based on illegal immigrants. Not happy with enforcing the law. Governor Newsom wants that control. Get that control. So does that mayor. It's a Democrat thing. It's a rhino thing. Centralized government. They have no clue what I'm talking about, but they hate it. So, or they love it. I'm sorry. All right. So, of course, California sues, and of course, Governor Newsom's leading the way. The man who can't keep his own streets clean, by the way, unless there's like a World Cup or something coming. Can't stop fentanyl deaths in his own state. Won't do it. And can't balance a budget, apparently. But he's outraged. Governor Newsom's outraged. Outraged that the U.S. military was used to support immigration law enforcement. Okay? California politicians, my friends out there in California. California politicians would rather virtue signal in court than protect their citizens. That's what rhinos, that's what Democrats do. Yeah, but the bureaucracy. But my power goes away. And then you got a Clinton judge lecturing the commander-in-chief about national security. That's priceless. That's very rich. Judges have, and I love judges, but judges have the luxury, please listen to this. Judges have the luxury of theory. Presidents and executive branch folks have the obligation and duty to deal with reality. That's where they live in. They live in reality. Trump saw chaos in Los Angeles and he acted. Hey, the governor wouldn't do anything. The mayor of Los Angeles wouldn't do anything. Those two politicians act like their citizens are subjects and subjects to them. And they forget that these are American citizens. And when you're going to let an immediate threat go unchecked, yes, the president of the United States is going to protect the citizens of the United States. And in this case, enforcement of a federal law, our immigration laws. Now, want to be very clear, though, because it's important. I don't think America wants a permanent national police force run by Washington. That's Democrat and Republican. Neither did our founders, and neither do I. But that's not what happened here. This was a very targeted, time-limited deployment to restore order and protect federal agents. That's lawful. That's common sense. And the only reason it's controversial at all, is because Democrats would rather let their streets burn than admit Trump was right. They would rather, I ain't wrong.
We'll look up there. The Chicago mayor saying right now, Chicago will have a violence problem as long as red states have a gun problem.
Oh,
what?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't have my contacts on. Is that what that guy at top right? What does it say?
Bottom left. Yeah. Chicago will have a violence problem as long as red states have a gun problem. Because, yeah, guns just shoot people.
Man, I forgot we're talking about Democrats here. No offense to my friends that are listening that are registered as a Democrat. I understand we're seeing the light. I get it. But like these folks right here that are actually in charge, this mayor, what?
You got city councilman in Chicago saying you send some kind of help.
Yeah, that's true. You do have some council members that are like, yes, please, please. this whole thing, this is a fundamental difference between rhinos, Democrats, and then the rest of the country. Okay. You can argue about gun control all you want. Okay. You want to ignore the Constitution. You don't want to go do a constitutional amendment. You just want to ignore it, whatever. But we have to be able to we have to be able to agree on certain facts. A gun is not a human. A gun is basically a machine. It needs somebody to operate it. Okay? If you kill people with baseball bats, are you gonna ban baseball bats? If people kill people with knives, we're gonna ban knives.
Forks.
Forks. If people, you could go on and on and on.
What about this weapon and
Yeah,
this weapon?
yeah, exactly.
Lefty and righty. What about these? You gonna ban these?
Ban those. No more fist fighting. Oh, the bars in Chicago will be, well, they don't need
deadly weapons right here.
So, man, just silly. That whole thing. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. And did I read right? Did Trey Gowdy go on national TV and talk about gun control? Like we have to have a serious conversation. Can you look that up? Someone told me that.
I'll have to look that up.
I hope I'm wrong. Whew. Here's the big picture. And I know our audience gets it. We're a nation of laws. Maybe just remind the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois. We're a nation of laws. And do you know, Chicago? I'm a Cubs fan now. Come on. We got to do better. Do you know that you too, Chicago, have laws on the books? Actually, the crime we're talking about, it's a crime because y'all said it was a crime in your representative body, just like ours did.
Hey, speaking of the
What?
Cubs, did you see, was it PCA?
PCA.
PCA got a
Pro Armstrong.
A two-strike, two-base bunt.
I did. I watched it yesterday.
All right.
That's gutsy, guys. The bunt on 2 strikes. So he was walking out of there a hero or a loser, but it was so good. See, he got on base, and he was one of the not the tying run, but one of the runs that contributed from a 6-1 comeback.
And Trey Gowdy did say we have to have a conversation about gun control.
What the hell is wrong with these elite freaking bubble people? Now, what's interesting about Gowdy? Did he say that as a senator? I don't think. Which is total opposite. Usually they say the right exactly. Usually they say the right thing before they're in office, and then they get in office and they do this rhino stuff. But hey, at least he can't hurt us. He can't hurt us with a vote on that. But is that one of those guys? We gotta have. I'm as conservative as they get. I promise I'm Republican. But we gotta have tough discussions. Is it one of those? God, it's so annoying.
Yeah, and then he tied in. When it comes to protecting our
we gotta
children.
got to. Yeah, Mr. Gowdy, Republican. Only the bad guys are going to have the gun. Bad guys in the government, which is probably the same at times, like they're the only ones. So Mr. Gowdy, Republican, you don't want to restrict the government. You want to restrict law-abiding citizens? Because we want to have tough discussions about our children. Maybe stop making their areas of education soft targets. Maybe put more guns responsibly.
I just went and bought a gun last week.
I'm talking responsibly. You know, have law, get teachers certified up on concealed weapon. Get them trained up. Background check the hell out of them. I get all that. But I'm just saying, no, we need more responsible gun owners than we do restricting all the millions. Boy, it gets me fired up. Boy, just that elite. Look down to us peasants. Anyway, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Woo! We are broadcasting live here on KPEL. That's abrupt.
Very abrupt. My bad.
It's all good. Also broadcasting live on Rumble. I want to see you over there on Rumble. Rumble.com. Give us a little chat over there. Rumble.com. Look at the Josh Guillory Show. And you can join us. And I want you to join us. All right, let's see here, guys. Let's continue discussion. Oh, wait a minute. My favorite part of the show. The phone lines are wide open. 232-1542, 232-1542. Outside of the Acadiana area, give us a call at 844-766-6607. All right, let's go straight to the phone lines. Renee, what you got, Renee? Bring the heat, baby.
I think the right don't think outside the box enough. I mean, to fight the left, you know? I mean, Frederick Douglass is public domain. They should have his face on the NRA magazine, posters of him with his famous saying, freedom is won at the ballot box and with the cartridge box. And on top of that, you know, it's like it should also have phrases from Mao Zedong and Hitler and Stalin saying how they want to take away the guns, and how Lenin say one man with a gun can control 100 men without. You know, drive it home how useful and deterrent and how absolute having a gun, loaded or not, is in a good situation or a bad one.
Yeah. Hey, look, what was that last part? I didn't hear that last part.
Having a gun in a good situation or a bad one? Repeat that, Renee.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
we lost him.
All right. Thanks, Renee. Appreciate you. Yeah, look, man, there's a lot of things going on right now. But I see both parties attacking gun ownership. And, you know, I know it may feel good, and I get it, man. I've been there. I have been there, you know, wanting to, you know, think outside the box. And, you know, if we only controlled anytime we start off with, if the government only controlled fill in the blank, whatever, most of the time, it's not going to be a good thing. Sometimes it will be, because the federal government is a government of limited powers and limited scope. So that's why only a few things make sense when the federal government does it. But I get the whole notion of, well, I mean, if we just didn't let people have guns, they wouldn't shoot everybody. Or this is a real good. If it wasn't as easy to get guns, have you tried? I mean, ATF, I mean, if you just sneeze the wrong way. I got clients coming in all the time. And me and my partner in my title company, Josh Barnhill, he's a Second Amendment attorney. And some of the stuff I see in his office is crazy. Crazy, like governments infringing on people's basic constitutional right. If you don't like the right, then get enough delegates, get enough counts, however way, there's multiple ways to do this, and amend the Constitution. 2 ways that I know of. If you don't like it, Mr. Gowdy, you were in the Senate. Why didn't you get together enough people to propose a constitutional amendment and just take the right away? Oh, no. We want to qualify this right. The Second Amendment. I didn't write the Constitution. I like it, but I didn't write it. But what other right? Hey, seriously, ask yourself, what other constitutional right do you have to qualify for? The right to freedom of speech? You can only freely speak if this, and this, and then you have to pass this, and this, and then if the government says it's okay, you have freedom of speech. What about search and seizure? Fourth Amendment. No, we all have the right, all of us. The government cannot search or seize our person or effects, our things around us, without certain things that happen. So there are some qualifying, but the qualifications are in the Constitution. That's a difference. There must be certain things that has to happen. Any other right, due process, you only have the due process rights if you this, and this. No. Then why, even after the Supreme Court in D.C. versus Heller in 2008, and then in 2011, City of Chicago versus McDonald versus City of Chicago, okay? Those are two different cases that ruled the same way from different angles. One was from D.C., one was from the local government state. It's side of that. So even besides two recent, by the way, recent 2008, 2011 in the legal land, that's right around the corner. That's why Democrats and rhinos use litigation and lawfare as a tactic, because all they want is the headline. They know it takes years to resolve all that, and it usually won't end up with anything, but they got the headlines. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Who we going to? Warren. Bring the heat, Warren. I know you know about this topic. Go for it.
Well, I want to say blackmail, select prosecutions, conspiracy, and there's some other tools that the government should not be allowed to use that is very corrupt, and a lot of innocent people are sitting in jail. And I saw a bumper sticker years ago saying, "I'll give up my guns, bullets first." But, this is an outrage. What's going on? These shootings, this should be stopped fairly quickly. In our local government, I voted for Jindal the first time. I voted for Foster the first time. And it looks like I'm going to vote for Landry the first time only. Our insurance rates went down a little bit, and the people of Louisiana had to give up a lot. I don't think they did a dadgum thing, them jive turkey hunters. That's about all they did. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Warren. Well said. I don't have anything else to add to that. That's pretty good. Pretty well said, Warren. I bet you summarize the feelings of a lot of folks in our great state. Eddie, what's up, Eddie?
Yeah, all these people want to get rid of our gun rights and everything. Why you think Europe and all them suckers are getting overrun by Muslims and everything? Because they took their rights away to protect themselves. As long as we have our guns rights here, because I don't own a gun, grant you, I don't own a gun because I'm a stupid person sometimes. I get mad on these stupid things.
Get your own gun control.
So I realized myself I shouldn't own a gun.
All right.
But if they get rid of our gun rights, we're going to be just like the rest of the world.
Man.
That's why France, Britain, you name it, Ukraine, that's why Ukraine got took over, because they took their guns. They didn't have no guns. World War II, I watched a documentary. Whenever they attacked Pearl Harbor, that old general said, "We hope we didn't wake up a giant." And the only reason why they didn't invade the United States is because some of them come to school over here and told them there's a gun around every corner. That's why we ain't been invaded yet. Our founders knew what was happening, and they gave us the right to bear arms. It's defend ourselves. Because somebody comes over here, I don't need a gun to defend myself. I got other things I can use. And trust me, you come over here at my house and start messing around with my family and my property, trust me, I don't need a gun to get you. You know what I mean?
I do. Thanks, Eddie. Man, great points, guys. Woo, Eddie, you're on a roll. Man, just remember this. Those who give up freedom for security will have neither. Those of us, those societies in the world, just go read history. When a community, when society gives up their freedoms in exchange for the people you're giving up those freedoms to, the government, in exchange for security, more safety, you give up both. We give up both when we do that. We will have neither. All right. Caller, you alive on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Will in Lafayette. So let's break it down, right?
Let's do it.
It says a well-regulated militia being necessary for a free state, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
There you go.
Doesn't say anything in there about hunting. Now let's break down militia. What is a militia, right? A militia is a military force that is raised from the civil population to supplement a regular army in an emergency. That was put there to protect us against the government.
There you go.
It was not for us to go hunting or anything of that nature.
Yep.
Put there to protect us. And our rights have been infringed ever since they put it in there, and we've been letting them do it.
Exactly. And you got softies like Gowdy over there now. And I'm sorry, I like Trey Gowdy, but golly, man. The hell is wrong? See, you know what? He's been spent too much time on that beltway, and now he's got a taste of that. I wish I had more time. I hear the music. All right, guys. Hey, if you're on hold, stay on hold just a little bit. We'll stay on this topic when we get right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Woo, go check us out on Rumble, rumble.com. Go check us out. That's the station, or excuse me, that's the platform Dan Bongino pretty much kicked off. We appreciate that. We're very honored to be a part of that, and want you to see us. Literally, go check us out. All right, so all our folks on hold just hung up on us, but that's all right. Look, again, we talked about the big picture. We're a nation of laws. Illegal immigration. It's against the law. Okay? Then we started talking about firearms. Okay, we have a Second Amendment. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're a nation of laws. We have a constitutional amendment. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no brainer. All right, let's move on to Chicago. All right?
You want to talk to Jerry?
Yeah, let's talk about Jerry. Jerry, thanks for calling in. Jerry, what you got, buddy?
Hey guys, I just want to go on the record that and let everybody know that I went canoeing down the Mississippi River, and of course I took my guns out for a ride because they get lonely in the safe.
Yeah.
And I lost the canoe, I lost all my guns, but I'm safe and I'm back home, all sound in one piece.
Good. So the guns didn't kill you, thank God. Man.
Nope.
Wow.
They all drowned though.
Oh,
dang.
that sucks.
They didn't kill any fish, no?
Oh. Hey, first of all, canoeing in the Mississippi, man, kudos to you. That's
God
a
bless
hell
you.
of a... Were you going south or north?
Well, of course I was trying to go north, and I only had one paddle.
Oh,
and
come on.
that, and then I had a barge pass me by, and all my guns went in. I shed a tear. It was horrible.
That's horrible. Oh, man. Jerry, well,
Great
thanks.
show, guys.
Thank you, but let's go to let's stay on this. Let's stay on the topic of crime and things like. Let's go back to that and let's go to Chicago.
Oh, did we
All
have
right.
to?
Yeah. So ABC News, Bill Hutchinson over there, he's reporting that Chicago. Man, look at these stats. All right, this is your Democrat-run city over here. Okay, 58 people shot, 8 fatally, just over this Labor Day weekend. 58. A drive-by left 7 wounded in Bronzeville. 2 women were gunned down in South Shore. Homicides piled up in Garfield Park, other areas in town. All in the holiday stretch. 17-year-old shot through her own window. Through her own window. This is daily life in Chicago under Democrat rule.
Most dangerous city in the world.
That's what he said. As a matter of fact, he responded, President Trump, by renewing his threat to federalize the Illinois National Guard and put troops on the ground in Chicago. He said Pritzker, the governor, needs help badly, whether he knows it or not. Whether he knows it or not. And he vowed to solve Chicago's crime problem like he did in D.C. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson are lashing out. No way are you going to come protect citizens. Wait a minute. They called Trump's move illegal and un-American. Gosh. Johnson even signed a Protecting Chicago initiative. Well, go protect them.
Well, it's un-American is allowing 58 people to be shot in your city on a holiday where they should be enjoying it.
You should be resigning today. That's what you should be doing. And these guys, these elites, it's not just Democrats, not just Democrat leadership. They would rather fight you on their control measures, on process, bureaucracy. We like that you're doing it. We just don't like the way that you're doing it, and kind of takes away our authority, and we need that. We need that.
We would like it if it wasn't you.
Yeah, yes.
Is what they're saying. If Biden was like, I'm going to deploy troops, and where am I?
Yeah.
You know, they'd be like, oh, that's my president.
Finally.
That's my president.
Yeah. Here's the truth. Federalizing National Guard troops is an extraordinary step. The Constitution and what we talked about earlier, the Post Comitatus Act, they're there for a reason. And they keep military power in check for a reason. It should never be a standing police force. That's dangerous. And I think Democrats and Republicans should agree with that. But there are times, there are rare times when the president does have the authority to act. When a state refuses to respond, When the emergency is real, I'd say so. And when people are dying while leaders play politics, yeah, I think all three of those are there. Chicago's streets are soaked in blood. The governor won't act, just won't. The mayor talks legal theory while children are shot in their homes, like really, like that 17-year-old little girl. That is abandonment. That's the furthest thing from leadership than you can come close to. It's like your number one job as a mayor is to keep people safe. That is your number one job. And you want to go over here and talk politics and legal theory. Now, I want to be clear on my position. Federalizing the state's National Guard should only happen in the most limited emergency circumstances. It should only be that state's National Guard, and it should only be done when the state can't or won't act. It must be temporary. It must be tightly focused on restoring order. Anything more than that looks like a national police force, and that was never the intent of our founders. Conservatives believe in law and order, but we also believe in our Constitution. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back, man. We're going to talk about redistricting. Jamie, are you sure we're a Republican state?
No, I already told you.
Well, the folks are. You say, oh, goodness mercy. Stick around. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your grateful host, and in studio with me still, my main man, Jamie Angel.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes. Woo! So,
Man, talking about Chicago and all.
yeah.
I don't think we should be sending troops there. One, and one reason for that is I think they ought to just let them do what they got to do. Thin the herd. You know what? Get rid of all your trash.
I don't know where we are. Okay, so again, I believe certain things. This is just my opinion. If you disagree, please call in. Tell us. We'll open up the phone lines. Bottom half of the hour, 232-1542. We love when we get differing thoughts. So, if you're going to mobilize the National Guard, let's start off with, first, it must be that state's National Guard. All right? Because there was some talk about 2 different National Guard, basically permanent posts.
Quick reaction force.
Yeah, not cool.
Not on your own land.
No, not cool. So I totally disagree with that. I hope it doesn't even go any further than discussion. Here's the thing about Trump. I'm going to say something, guys. Don't take it the wrong way. It's not like he has a set standard of principles here. He doesn't have a set standard of principles in regards to like political philosophy or like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's mostly conservative. That's more the business guy coming out. This dude's a winner, okay? And you just got to understand that sees a problem, wants to fix it. Okay, he sees crime, then he looks at it, he's like, wait a minute, I got National Guard troops. Why wouldn't I mobilize them to go fix the threat? Hey, that's a business guy saying, this is what I got. This is an easy threat. Let me just get rid of it real quick and be done with it. We love that when it's Donald J. Trump. I love that idea when it's Donald Trump. But what if it was Biden? And what if another COVID-19 comes out? And what if you have a conservative mayor that says, I ain't masking up my city. I ain't masking up my parish or my county. And then they mobilize the Louisiana National Guard, or they mobilize the Illinois National, well, it wouldn't be that, Alabama National Guard. You see what I'm saying? Or they mobilize, it wouldn't even be that. They would mobilize the 2 units, the quick reactionary force. This is very much a Democrat idea. And the Democrats would, I don't know why they would even fight any of this stuff. They should love Trump for this. This is exactly what they want. A national police force, 2 units, they're quick reactionary force. So if a Republican mayor doesn't agree with them, they can mobilize their National Guard to go implement their left policies in your city. No, we love that now. We love that now for this issue with this president. But we don't love that issue when it's not the candidate that we want. You got to stay true to what makes this country great. And if we go to top-heavy national government fix everything, you love it. We love it when it's the fixing part. But what we don't love is what we don't see, and it takes time to do this and to build into something evil as we've seen.
I just don't understand Democrats. Like, one day they want to defund the police.
Yeah.
The next day they want this. Now they don't want any additional assistance.
Yeah.
But
It's confusing.
What do they want? What do they want?
Talk to us. Jeez. Just communicate. Feels good. All right, let's move. Let's switch gears. I'm glad we got that out. I didn't finish my whole rundown of what it would take, for National Guard, but just rarity. Rarity, it must be rare. It must be very specific. It must be very limited in scope and time. But one could argue we're in unprecedented times. I mean, you do have these crime-ridden cities that are business hubs or could be business hubs. Chicago, a lot of commerce goes through Chicago. Is there a national interest in cleaning up the streets? I'd say so. But, boy, that mayor and that governor, that's their responsibility. That's their responsibility. And man, it's horrible for the folks that live there, though. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's go to redistricting. So WBRZ is reporting that Louisiana lawmakers, our legislators, they may be called back into a special session because of our state's never-ending congressional map mess. You heard of this redistricting thing?
Boy, have I.
Man.
And I am about had enough of it.
Yeah, I heard about it. I heard.
We started it, remember?
Yeah, we be in Louisiana. We be in Louisiana. Oh, well, let's dive into this a little bit more, okay? All right, so the Supreme Court is set to hear arguments October 15th in Louisiana versus Calais. That's us. To decide whether the maps comply with the Voting Rights Act. So the lines Louisiana used last year, as we know, created a second majority-minority district running from Baton Rouge to Shreveport and everything in between. It's pretty much a QR code. Just what our founders envisioned, right? No. Now, that map was defended. That map was defended in court for over a year. Louisiana. Our leadership in Louisiana was using Louisiana tax dollars to pay attorneys to argue all this, to argue in defense of the second voluntarily given Democrat seat in Congress, given to America by Louisiana Republican leadership. Awesome. Well, now Louisiana is telling the court that the Constitution forbids sorting voters by race. We agree. And we've agreed since the beginning. And this has been nothing but race. No, it was used. Race was used to create a backroom deal. We'll talk about it. Now, if SCOTUS agrees, that map is gone. And the legislature could be back at it again before the 2026 election. It will also have impacts on way more states in Louisiana, the whole country. So we'll see, eager. So let's talk about some facts here. Those are important. So after the 2020 census, recall our Louisiana lawmakers drew a map with just one majority-minority district. That made sense. Civil rights groups sued, saying it violated the Voting Rights Act. A federal panel forced the state to create a second majority-minority district. That's the one that was used last year. Congressman Cleo Fields won that district. He himself, by the way, admitted that the lines were political, not neutral. You can't make this stuff up.
Well,
At
he
least
drew
he's
them.
honest. He helped draw them, yeah.
He was the one who, please.
It was for anybody to run. Anybody could run for that, as long as you live in the state. That's what they said. That's true. Now, the Attorney General's office, Louisiana, again, the state of Louisiana, our leadership, our Republican leadership, spent taxpayer dollars defending the Democrat map for nearly 2 years, only to now argue it's unconstitutional?
Wait, didn't our current governor?
Wait, now?
Yeah.
I thought it was back then they started this case.
Right. Our current governor is the one who started when he was the AG, didn't he?
No, not this one. Not this one. This was
I
this.
thought this started
No,
before.
this was the back. Oh, the maps. I apologize. Which was a different opinion back then.
He started it.
It's flip flops all the time. It's so silly when it shouldn't flip flop at all. Race should not be used to draw congressional districts. This is not Reconstruction. No one here. This is not even Jim Crow. I mean, jeez. All right, look, we'll talk about this. Let's bring this topic back up when we come back. It'll be fun. All right, be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. Go over there to Rumble. Give us a little watch. You can also literally see or listen to old podcasts, old shows. And love to see your chats over there. Go give us a shout. Did you even hear me did you put your headsets on? I was giving you a whole bunch of good stuff.
When?
Just now before the break, you heard all that stuff?
I did. Sure did.
Put the headsets on, I never know.
I'm always listening,
I appreciate that, pal.
Apparently our lawmakers aren't listening, though.
No.
They don't hear squat.
No, we keep saying, please just do what you say you're going to do. And what's crazy, though, what's the reality and is crazy. How many folks out there, how many of you listening, how much of this wonderful listening audience and viewing audience, how many of you guys remember the 2023 campaign cycle, seeing all those ads on redistricting and adding a Democrat seat? Anybody? Yeah, wait a minute. Y'all don't remember all the current senior Republican leaders right now? You don't remember them running ads?
They ran ads?
Running ads saying, please vote for me. I'm going to add a Democrat seat. Y'all remember those ads?
I'm trying to think. Would that have been before the election?
Yeah. Yeah.
I must have been busy.
Yeah, me too. Didn't see any of those ads. I bet no one else did either. So, we know the deal. Backroom deals. Look, but SCOTUS has set oral arguments for October 15th, and that's why we're seeing everybody in a little tizzy right now. It's always interesting when one side who has fought tooth and nail, that's Louisiana, who has spent Louisiana tax dollars defending a voluntarily given Democrat seat by senior Republicans. Rarely do you see a side go through that much of the chain of command from trial court all the way to Supreme Court, argue in the Supreme Court one way, and then magically changing their position. And I know it's illegal technicalities. Oh, well, no, it's the Voting Rights Act now, and the court asks a legal question, and we're told to give our guidance on it. And I say, no, it's not. It's not constitutional. Well, you know what? If it's not constitutional now, it wasn't constitutional then, and you should have brought that up then. That's so... Boy, politics are happening right now, guys. Woo! Here's the truth. This entire fiasco started as a backroom deal. Anybody disagree? Call in. Tell me I'm wrong. Senior Republican leadership in our great state cut a deal with Democrat Cleo Fields and the Democrats to carve him a safe district. Anybody disagree?
Look, we had to do that like that.
That's generic Cajun, man.
They had to do that like that because the government was going to come and they were going to make them do it anyway.
What? Well, that's not what Louisiana's saying now. And why was that backroom deal made? So that these very Republicans that are selling us out could secure first-round victories in the 2023 cycle and avoid runoffs. Am I wrong? Oh,
man, look, I had to win. I had to do that like that.
He would have won anyway.
I had to save that money.
He would have won. That's exactly right. But he would have won anyway, and he would have raised the money again. I don't understand it.
Power, make me look stronger.
It's the only thing. Only thing. Got to have some bragging rights. I won outright. They thought it was clever politics, all these Republican folks. But the base saw right through it. Conservative voters felt betrayed, and I felt betrayed for sure. I bet you all of you guys, most of our listening audience felt betrayed. Anybody vote for that? No. They watched so-called Republican leadership hand away voluntarily in one of the worst times where we had one-person majority at the time due to some changes on the election. I mean, just gave it away. Sent a Democrat in exchange for their own personal advantage. That's not leadership. I'd say that's blatant surrender. And for nearly 2 years, I'm just trying to make sense of it, folks. For nearly 2 years, the state has doubled down that this district is right and proper under our law. Like I said, if the Voting Rights Act is unconstitutional now, it was unconstitutional then. Why now? We can't use the excuse. Oh, well, the Supreme Court just asked us, and that's a different scope, and that's a different legal theory. Well, I would say this. How much money are we spending on lawyers to determine the constitutionality of our actions? Or are we spending attorney fees on all these political wins across the country that really do we have to? I'm just asking the questions because I am just asking because it doesn't make sense to me. And I guess fortunately, and I don't mean to sound arrogant here. I really don't. You good? There is a benefit to me being a former public official, and there is a benefit of me being a lawyer. I'm able to I'm able to, some of them, I'm able to recognize a few little things that maybe I wouldn't been able to recognize had I not been in those capacities. So I'm very appreciative of that. But all these guys, they thought, oh, clever politics. Oh, yeah. 2 years, we doubled down. The state of Louisiana spent our tax dollars defending that political gerrymander. Legislators were voting on maps they barely had time to study. This was all handed to them, force-fed. Maps they didn't fully understand at all. And you know why? We all know. We all know why. Because leadership had already cut the deal, man. And now, after how much? How many hundreds of thousands in lawyer fees? I hope it's not over $1 million. I hope we have not spent over $1 million in legal fees.
You know we have.
Man, that is sick.
You know we have.
It was just a law student, a third-year law student. If you give him the Constitution, him or her, the Constitution and the jurisprudence, and they can make that argument for you. I'm not saying that's the route you go, but my God, I hope we have not spent more $1 million. That would be very disheartening. But after we spent all this, after all the legal battles, all of them, the state now suddenly says that the maps are wrong. Suddenly, they argue race-based redistricting is unconstitutional. You used race to get your political district. This is all about race and it's all about politics. Race is just the identity politics used. But where was that argument when it mattered? The Constitution protects Louisiana citizens now just as it did when this thing started. Where was that conviction before the base erupted? Where was the appreciation of the Constitution before you started getting emails and calls from donors and supporters? Where was it then, Louisiana conservative Republicans? I'm just asking. All right, guys, right back. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Woo, we're broadcasting live on Rumble. Go check us out, rumble.com. We're on all the other stuff too, but our home base.
We were talking about, just a little bit in the break, we were talking about LSU, ranked number 3 now. So, gosh, hopefully.
Hopefully. How about I report on this one?
Yeah, you do.
All right, so LSU ranked number 3. UL had a tough little outing over the weekend against Rice. I don't know what, I think the Pokes won. I think McNeese won.
They play, UL plays McNeese next week.
Yeah, I got to see my Southern Jags. I didn't know. I usually keep up with that. I'm sorry. I did not this weekend.
I didn't check.
All right. But also, I believe Lee Corso in headgear picks. I think LSU's also third. Bruno at Ohio State's won. The Elephant with Alabama, the University, 2 states to the east. And then, and then I think LSU's 3 with Lee Corso's picks.
And he predicted LSU to win the national championship this year. And, you know, there's a little talk now about Nussmeier maybe being the front candidate now for the Heisman, but way too early. All the Arch Manning hype has died instantly.
Oh, man. So, all right, so many thoughts. Hey, look, I like Nussmeier. I like him a lot. It's just, I mean, I'll tell you this, the intangibles, I think, was Heisman level over the weekend, but the stats weren't.
No,
I mean, it's
not at all.
You know,
but that defense was lights out.
And not a knock on Nussmeier. I mean, Clemson's defense is pretty good too, from what I hear, and a lot of starters returned as well. And then, so we'll see. Very interesting college football season coming up.
Indeed.
And the pros start Thursday. Saints play Sunday. All right, so back to this redistricting, okay? I just want to be very clear here. You know, I support the Attorney General. I love Liz Murrow. You know, I think she's doing the right thing now by telling SCOTUS that the Constitution forbids dividing voters by skin color. And I don't think she's the overall problem here, okay? I really don't. I think the problem, personally, I think the problem was the politics that created this mess, okay? She was new to politics. She wasn't new to law. She's a smart lady, professor of law, was the first Solicitor General of Louisiana, very smart Attorney General, and only had a select few of advisors politically, if you think about it. Like, just think about it, okay? And those advisors were on the other side of the coin. They were pushing for the Cleo Fields district. Okay. Anyway, I don't think she's the problem. That's all I'm saying. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Happy to admit it, but I just don't. I think the problem was the Republican leadership. They thought that they were smarter than us, smarter than the people, but they weren't. They got caught. And now they're scrambling to spin their way out of it before the 2027 election cycle.
What did they think was going to happen? Like, what did they honestly think? They took the people for granted is what they did. They're like, oh, but they support us no matter what. We can do whatever we want.
I can pull a gun out on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, we talk about mandates a lot, especially when Trump won. Oh, it was a mandate by the people. Well, yeah, with Jeff Landry, when you were elected, it was a mandate by the people to instill some maybe conservative values in a state that was severely lacking. That's supposed to be a conservative state. So he kind of failed to perform.
I just sent a message to a friend, and I said, if any of these Republicans would have run, if any of these Republicans would have said this is what they're going to do with the power that we give them, no conservative would have voted for them. And it was unnecessary. That deal with Cleo Fields was unnecessary. These Republicans, and I'm saying it nicely when I say Republicans, okay? But these Republicans would have won.
What's the
in the runoff? Republican.
Republicant?
No, one Republican. Yeah, Republican can't. Republic can't pass a conservative agenda. Dang it. Whoa. Can we get the conservative candidates, the campaign conservatives? I want the campaign conservatives to go in office. I like consistent conservatives. All right, let's go to Kevin from the motherland. What up, Kevin? Talk to me.
Hey, it's all good. Napoleon and the rhinos have now been caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They're going to have a chance to fix this. They should get off their duff right now.
Yes.
And have a new district ready to go
yes.
before any election.
Thank you.
But they won't.
Nope.
They won't. They're gonna stay in rhino mode and say the people are not paying attention to us. We can do what we want.
And then complain when they can barely pass anything.
Man, that's gonna happen all over the place, though. Lafayette Parish has some millages coming up. People are gonna be asleep because that's what they do.
Yep.
But same thing with this. It's like, man, Kevin, you're right. And let's give the legislature, some positive vibes. We started off reporting on this that they have been asked to clear their calendar for mid-October to do a special session to address this. Very eager. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know when the cutoff is to get that whatever that candidate. Like, when's the cutoff for this district, this new district they're going to create? When does that go in effect? Is it 2026 or 2028?
Because I believe they already said they're gonna argue it in the fall, but they
but
may not have a decision until next
I'm
year.
sure convenient. Right after the 2027 election, too. That might be dumb politically. What's dumb politically anyway? It was dumb to gerrymander a district on race and say that we had to do it.
Yep.
I tell you, this guy knows. Mr. Bobby, what you got on all this? Come fix that stuff.
I tell you what, that last guy that called, I'm a voice specialist. That last guy that called sounded like Johnny Allen, the singer. But anyway,
I love Johnny Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's from the motherland.
I just heard your daddy on the radio. There's the Ville Platte station sometime.
Yeah.
Big blue diamonds.
Big blue diamonds.
Man, you daddy could sing, huh?
Hey, man, blue-eyed soul singer. He is awesome.
Yeah, here's the deal. Listen, you're talking about the AG, L.A. My wife the other day was talking about a high-ranking Republican woman in the Republican Louisiana party here.
All right.
If I mention her name, you would know it, but I'm not going to mention it.
All right.
And she said that she told my wife, she says that what was that, the destroyer, the mayor in New Orleans, what's her name?
LaToya.
Yeah, well, she told the high-ranking Republican woman there, they were discussing that, and she said, "Oh, you don't understand LaToya. Y'all just don't understand her." And I quote, that's what she said. You don't understand. The AG told ranking Republican woman, body that you don't understand LaToya.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I told my wife,
Hey,
you should have taped that.
Hey, man. Look.
Oh, you probably know who it is, but I ain't gonna say the name.
I have an idea.
She calls into your show.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Hey, I'm telling you, that guy sounds just like Johnny Allen's voice.
Hey, maybe Keevan's just, that's his stage name, but I don't think so. Hey, Johnny Allen, one of a time. One of a kind.
Sorry, Mr. Bobby.
No.
We got to move on.
Yeah.
Got more callers.
All right, Warren, bring the heat, baby.
Well, I used to know about Johnny Allen. I went to school where he was at. I went to school with his daughter. Just a little side note, y'all talking about Johnny Allen.
Yeah.
Josh, they lie to your face to take your place. Them backstabbers. I know about the backstabbers from Katrina and Chalmette, where I had to stop public officials from shooting each other. So I know about that backstabbing politics in Louisiana. Yep. And it seems nobody wants to answer Moon's question. And Jeff Landry was on there the other day. And I think somebody ought to petition President Trump to find out where the money went for the DOTD, Department of Transportation, because everybody knows they so ugly, they ain't no telling where the money went, but somebody needs to look into it. Thank you, Josh.
Ooh, I have to go pull that question. I have to go maybe I'm the only one that doesn't know. I don't know. But, hey, look, thanks, Warren. I appreciate you. You want to fit Renee in?
Let's do it.
Renee, go for it, baby.
Yeah, I want to say they don't understand LaToya. They don't understand people that have guns.
Yeah.
They want, somebody from another country come here. They're going to worry about their cultural, adaptation and give them slack. When I was raised, I'm middle-aged. When I was raised, I'd go to school, and on school vacation, I'd go with my grandpa and grandma to the basin. He pretty much had a gun and lived like the cowboy days. Get groceries, go fishing, hunt, come back. you know, and it's a long way from medical help out there.
Yeah, well, good call.
Yeah,
Good call. Hey, well, Renee, we're hitting. I don't know if you hear the music. We're going into a break. Hey, man, thank you so much. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to keep those phone lines open. I can't wait to hear from you. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Woo! We are broadcasting live on Rumble. See you out there, rumble.com. See, I was pointing to my monitor, and then I'll point to my camera. There you go. That's how we do it.
This is how we do it. Hey, we got some match chat.
Go for it.
We got J-Mac and Eunice talking earlier. He said, just had to watch a golden pig dance across the screen, but the First Amendment is first for a reason. The Second Amendment is there to protect the first. The caller hit the nail on the head about the, we were talking earlier about the First and Second Amendments and guns and all that. And then T-Don.
Those guns in the Mississippi didn't kill our friend.
No. T-Don says, just send the guns and bullets and the problem will take care of itself. He's referring, I'm assuming, to Chicago. That's what I'm saying. Just let them take care of themselves. They don't need us.
That's y'all's policing?
Well, they don't want police anyway. They want to defund the police. So, I mean, Jasmine Crockett the other day was like, we got to defund the police.
But
get out of here with that
Trump
crap.
does have a point, though. I mean, I get where he's saying about, you want to defund the police, you want to support riot. I know this is more 2020 language, but, you're not getting federal dollars.
Call a crackhead.
Well, you're not getting federal dollars to rebuild your city, that's for sure. Yeah, next time you need
Look at Oregon. Oregon, for example. Great example. They decided, we have a drug problem. Let's just legalize all the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
That worked out for about, I don't even know if they made it a whole year. Yeah. But they promptly reversed course and passed new legislation reversing what they did because you need police. You can't just, anarchy doesn't work.
Mm-mm. No. So, all right, back to these redistrictings. This redistricting case. And we've talked about it till we're blue in the face. I get all that. I just think if the argument was there before or is there now, it was there before. And I think the folks, if you guys would have told us this is what you were going to do with the power we gave you, we wouldn't have voted for you. All right, let's move on to a different topic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to fit it in.
We got 3 minutes.
I'm going to fit it in. Congressman Higgins.
Oh, boy.
He is calling for a ban on federal funding for groups that promote the COVID vaccine for kids, and he is right.
Because that stuff took my hips.
Yeah, it did. Give Jamie back his hips.
I want my hips back.
In a letter to the House Appropriations Subcommittee, Congressman Higgins singled out the American Academy of Pediatrics. He's accusing them of using taxpayer-backed influence to push shots for children, even though the CDC, under Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.,
COVID vaccines are terrible for everybody.
No longer recommends them. Now, back in May, you may recall, the CDC pulled the vaccine off the schedule for healthy pregnant women and children. That move was in direct alignment with President Trump's pledge to roll back some of these binary mandates, and all of them actually, and restore common sense to public health. Really try to restore the public's opinion of the medical community. And it's so sad, man. Overwhelming majority of our medical doctors don't want to get involved in those politics. They just want to treat people, want to help people, that kind of stuff. But Higgins now wants language in the budget to make sure federal dollars can't go to any program, not a single one, that's still pushing COVID vaccines for kids, for children. I'm talking about mandated, not hey, parents, you be you. You think your kid needs the COVID vaccine? Go for it. That's all you. You know more about your child than the government does. And you should always make that decision, whether you want to give your child vaccines or not. But let's break this down. The American Academy of Pediatrics kept pushing these shots even after the science, remember that? Trust the science. And the CDC shifted. Higgins, pretty clear. COVID vaccine for kids was a failure, and continuing to promote the mandates is a risk harm. And to push the vaccine on children. I'm sorry, not the mandates. Influence with tax dollars. I apologize. But you can pretty much almost call it that. He called it appropriately state-sponsored weakening of the citizenry. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And a direct hit to children's health and fertility is what he said. Meanwhile, the AAP's president responded by saying they'll keep recommending shots rooted in science. But their science was the same failed narrative that locked down schools, masked kids, and treated parents like the enemy. Like the enemy. I appreciate Congressman Higgins. I appreciate him fighting for this. This is a common sense measure. More reason why for him to run a couple more terms. I know he's getting tired, but come on, Congressman. We need you for a couple more. Hey, look, guys, that's all the time we had. What a great 2 hours, all because of you. Thank you so much. Be careful out there.